This video is for educational purposes only and does not constitute professional medical advice. Please consult with your doctor or a qualified healthcare specialist before starting any new vitamins or supplements mentioned in this video. Use of this information is at your own risk. There is a terrifying silent process happening inside your body right now. And if you are over the age of 60, it is likely accelerating with every passing hour. You look in the mirror and see your arms getting thinner. You notice your legs feeling heavier, less stable, and more prone to fatigue. You assume it is just old age. You assume it is inevitable. But what if I told you that you are effectively starving to death while your stomach is full? What if I told you that your own digestive system, the very mechanism designed to keep you alive, has begun to betray you? This isn't just about getting older. It is about a biological shutdown that is turning your muscles into water and your strength into a memory. Before we go any further into this dark reality, welcome to ElderFit Nutrition. It's a pleasure to have you with us today. We are here to uncover the truths that others are too afraid to tell you. If you want to protect your independence and stop this internal decay, please subscribe to our channel and join our community. Your support allows us to continue bringing these life-saving insights to light. The tragedy of aging after 60 isn't just the wrinkles or the gray hair, it is the invisible theft of your physical autonomy. We call it sarcopenia, the medical term for muscle wasting, but that word is too sterile for the horror it actually represents. It is the slow, agonizing loss of the ability to carry your own groceries, to play with your grandchildren, or even to stand up from a chair without assistance. Most people think the solution is simple: eat more protein. They buy expensive steaks, drink chalky shakes, and hope for the best. But they are missing the most critical link in the chain. Your muscles are at the mercy of your gut. If your digestive system is compromised, that expensive protein isn't going to your biceps. It is sitting in your intestines, fermenting, creating toxins, and eventually being flushed away while your muscle cells scream for fuel. Imagine your body as a house. Your muscles are the structural beams holding it up. You keep buying lumber, protein, to reinforce the house, but the front door, your digestion, is locked shut. The lumber is rotting on the front porch, while the house slowly collapses from the inside. This is the reality for millions of seniors. They are eating, but they are not nourishing. This disconnect is the primary reason why so many people over 60 experience a sharp decline in their health, seemingly out of nowhere. It is a digestive bankruptcy that leads to physical liquidation. If you don't fix the gateway, the fuel doesn't matter. You are essentially watching your body consume its own structural integrity because it can no longer access the building blocks it needs. We are going to dive deep into why this happens and how you can stop the rot before it's too late. After hearing this, which do you think is more dangerous to your longevity? A, not eating enough protein. B, having a digestive system that cannot process the protein you eat. Please comment A or B below. Your answer reveals how you perceive your own health risks. The betrayal begins in a place you'd least expect: your stomach acid. We have been conditioned to believe that too much acid is the enemy, thanks to decades of marketing for antacids and heartburn medication. But for those over the age of 60, the reality is often the exact opposite. You aren't suffering from too much acid, you are suffering from a devastating lack of it. This condition, known as hypochlorhydria, is the silent engine behind muscle loss. As we age, the cells in our stomach lining that produce hydrochloric acid begin to wither. By the time you reach 60, your acid production may be only a fraction of what it was in your 20s. This isn't just a minor digestive inconvenience. It is a catastrophic failure of the first step of nutrition. Hydrochloric acid is the chemical scissors of the body. Its primary job is to break down complex protein structures into the individual amino acids that your muscles desperately need for repair and growth. Without strong acid, that piece of chicken or salmon you ate remains a tangled mess of fibers that your small intestine cannot absorb. Instead of being converted into muscle tissue, that undigested protein travels further down your digestive tract, where it becomes a feast for harmful bacteria. This is why many seniors feel a heavy, brick-like sensation in their stomach after a meal, followed by bloating and gas. It isn't just discomfort, It is the physical sound of your muscles being denied their lifeblood. You are eating for two, but the other is a colony of gut bacteria that is thriving while your physical strength vanishes. Furthermore, this lack of acid creates a dangerous ripple effect. Without a highly acidic environment, your stomach cannot signal the pancreas to release the vital enzymes needed for the next stage of digestion. It is a systemic collapse. Even if you are taking the best supplements and following the strictest diets, if the pH level in your stomach isn't low enough to unlock those nutrients, you are effectively throwing your money and your health away. This is the deeper level of the starvation on a full stomach we discussed earlier. The tragedy is that most people interpret their bloating and indigestion as a sign to eat less protein or to take more acid blockers, which only worsens the cycle of muscle decay. We must understand that the sensation of heaviness after a meal is a warning signal from your body that your internal chemistry is no longer capable of supporting your physical mass. When the stomach fails to liquefy protein, the body, in its desperate need for amino acids to keep your heart beating and your brain functioning, begins to harvest those aminos from the easiest available source, your skeletal muscles. It is a biological short circuit. Your body is literally eating its own legs to keep its vital organs alive because your stomach has lost the ability to process the food you provide. This is why you see the characteristic frailty of old age. It is a self-cannibalization process triggered by a silent digestive failure. To stop the muscle loss, we must first restore the fire in the stomach. We must stop the betrayal at the source. There is a cruel irony in the way we approach nutrition as we cross the threshold of 60. We are told, almost religiously, that fiber is the ultimate panacea for a domesticating gut. We pile our plates with raw kale, tough stalks of broccoli, and heavy legumes, believing that these superfoods are the brooms that will sweep our systems clean. But for many of us, this well-intentioned habit is actually the very thing triggering a state of chronic, low-grade inflammation that keeps our bodies in a cycle of depletion. After 60, the lining of your intestines, the delicate, single-cell, thick barrier that separates your food from your bloodstream, becomes increasingly fragile. It is no longer the resilient fortress it was in your youth. When you flood this sensitive environment with massive amounts of insoluble woody fiber, you aren't cleaning your system. You are effectively rubbing sandpaper against an open wound. This physical abrasion causes microtears in the intestinal wall, leading to what many researchers now recognize as a precursor to systemic inflammation. Instead of a smooth passage of nutrients, your gut becomes a battlefield. You experience the telltale signs: a persistent, dull bloating that never seems to go away, or a sudden, sharp cramping after a meal that was supposed to be clean. This isn't just gas. It is the sound of your immune system being forced into a state of high alert. When your gut is inflamed, it shuts down its primary mission, absorption. It becomes so preoccupied with defending itself against the perceived threat of tough fibers that it loses the ability to pull essential minerals like magnesium and zinc, the very building blocks of your muscle and bone health, into your system. You might think you are being disciplined by choosing a raw salad over a cooked meal, but you are inadvertently creating a nutritional blockade. For a body over 60, the energy required to ferment and break down these complex plant structures is often more than the body can afford to spend. This creates a state of starvation in the midst of plenty. Your intestines become bogged down, the transit time of food slows to a crawl, and the resulting fermentation produces toxic byproducts that further irritate your system. It is a heartbreaking paradox. The more you try to eat healthy by conventional standards, the more you may be inadvertently starving your muscles and exhausting your vitality. Understanding that your gut now requires gentle nutrition rather than aggressive fiber is the first step toward breaking this cycle of inflammation and reclaiming the strength that is rightfully yours. Even if you manage to navigate the pitfalls of fiber, there is a deeper, more invisible barrier that stands between you and the energy you crave: the collapse of your internal extraction team. As we age past 60, the production of digestive enzymes, those specialized proteins that act as the master keys to unlock nutrients, begins to plummet. Your pancreas, the factory responsible for these enzymes, simply doesn't run at the same capacity it once did. This is the forgotten link in the chain of senior health. Without these enzymes, particularly lipase for fats and proteases for proteins, the food you eat remains locked. It sits in your small intestine as an unrecognizable mass, unable to cross the border into your bloodstream. This enzyme deficiency creates a devastating ripple effect on your hormonal health. Think about vitamin D, the master hormone that dictates whether your body builds muscle or stores fat. Vitamin D is fat soluble, meaning it requires a robust supply of enzymes and healthy bile to be absorbed. When your enzyme production fails, you can take all the vitamin D supplements in the world, but they will simply pass through you, leaving your muscles weak and your bones vulnerable. You are effectively living in a state of biological depletion, not because the nutrients aren't there, but because the gatekeepers have left their posts. This exhaustion you feel in your limbs, the brain fog that clouds your mornings, these are often the direct results of a body that is running on empty because its internal machinery has stalled. Furthermore, this lack of absorption creates a vacuum that is quickly filled by the wrong kind of inhabitants. When undigested food lingers in your gut, it feeds a rebellion of harmful bacteria, a condition known as dysbiosis. These opportunistic microbes don't just steal your nutrients, they produce metabolic waste that enters your circulation, causing a heavy, systemic lethargy. This is why you might feel drained even after a full night's sleep. Your body is working overtime to detoxify the byproducts of its own stalled digestion. The connection between your microbiome and your muscle mass is profound. A toxic gut sends signals to the body to conserve energy by breaking down muscle tissue. To stop the depletion, we must look beyond the plate and address the microscopic environment where life actually happens. Restoring these forgotten links, the enzymes and the microbial balance, is the only way to turn the tide against the slow erosion of your physical self. The path to reversing muscle loss and reclaiming your vitality after 60 does not require a radical, exhausting overhaul of your life. It requires a fundamental shift in strategy, a transition from aggressive eating to intelligent absorption. To break the cycle of self-cannibalization, you must treat every meal as a tactical operation designed to bypass your body's aging barriers. The first step in this revival protocol is to reignite the fire in your stomach. Since your natural acid production has likely dimmed, you must provide a biological spark. A simple ritual, such as a tablespoon of raw apple cider vinegar in warm water or a few slices of fresh ginger 10 minutes before you eat, can signal your system to wake up. This minor adjustment creates the acidic environment necessary to finally unlock the proteins that have been sitting uselessly in your gut, effectively turning the locked door into an open gateway for muscle repair. Furthermore, you must stop fighting against your digestive tract and start working with it. This means embracing the art of pre-digestion. For a body over 60, raw and rugged is the enemy of the lean. Cooked and cultured is the ally of the strong. By steaming your vegetables until they are soft and choosing fermented foods like kefir, sauerkraut, or miso, you are allowing external forces, heat and beneficial bacteria, to do the heavy lifting for you. You are delivering nutrients in a form that your fragile intestinal lining can actually recognize and welcome. Additionally, consider the power of nutrient bundling. Instead of 1 or 2 large, overwhelming meals that stall your system, shift to 4 smaller, nutrient-dense pulses throughout the day. This prevents the enzymatic exhaustion we discussed earlier and ensures a steady, manageable stream of amino acids to your muscles. By slowing down, choosing gentle textures, and timing your intake to match your body's internal rhythm, you aren't just eating anymore. You are strategically fueling a comeback. This is how you stop the rot and begin the restoration of the physical autonomy you deserve. As we stand at this crossroads, it is important to realize that the thinning of your limbs and the fading of your energy are not a life sentence handed down by time. They are symptoms of a silent disconnect, a gap between the food on your plate and the cells in your muscles. We have journeyed through the dark reality of how a weakened stomach, the paradox of healthy fiber, and a failing absorption barrier can conspire to starve you from the inside out. But we have also discovered the light, the realization that you have the power to bridge that gap. You are not a passive victim of the passing years. You are the architect of your own internal environment. The fear of losing your independence, the dread of that day when you can no longer stand unassisted or walk through the park, is a powerful motivator. But let that fear be the catalyst for action, not a weight that holds you down. Every time you choose a warm, cooked meal over a cold, raw one, or take a moment to stimulate your digestive fire before eating, you are casting a vote for your future self. You are telling your body that its strength is still worth fighting for. The journey of aging is inevitable, but the journey of decay is optional. By mastering the nuances of your own digestion, you are reclaiming the right to move with confidence, to live without the constant shadow of fatigue, and to remain the master of your own physical destiny. You have the knowledge now. The only thing left is to apply it with the respect your body deserves. The profound lesson: true health is not defined by what you put into your mouth, but by what your body is capable of extracting from it. In a world obsessed with more protein, more fiber, more supplements, the secret to longevity for the senior soul is actually better. Efficiency is the ultimate form of nourishment. Starting with your very next meal, practice mindful priming. Take 3 deep breaths to calm your nervous system, sip a small amount of warm ginger tea, and ensure your protein is cooked thoroughly and paired with a healthy fat. Observe how your body feels an hour later. Listen to the signals of bloating or energy and adjust your revival protocol until you find the perfect harmony for your unique system. I would love to hear from you. Which of the 5 parts we discussed today surprised you the most or resonated with your current health journey? Please comment A, if it was the connection between stomach acid and muscle loss, or B, if it was the idea that healthy fiber could actually be causing you harm. Your insights help everyone in this community learn from different perspectives. If you found this deep dive valuable and want to continue uncovering the hidden truths of senior health, please subscribe to ElderFit Nutrition. Your support gives us the motivation to keep creating high-quality, life-changing content for you. Stay strong, and we will see you in the next video.